never said you had enough. You never give up, no matter what comes. You're always faithful, and you're more than able. You always finish what you begun. Oh, you're never gonna quit working on me. Oh, making me all that I can be. I'll keep on trusting in the one who never will give up on me. Never ever gonna give up, never gonna give up on me. I'll keep on trusting in the one who never will give up on me. Never ever gonna give up, never gonna give up on me. You're always with us, you never said you had enough. You never give up, no matter what comes. You're always faithful, and you're more than able. You'll always finish what you've begun. Oh, you're never gonna quit working on me. Oh, making me all that I can be. I'll keep on trusting in the one who never will give up on me. Never ever gonna give up, never gonna give up on me. I'll keep on trusting in the one who never will give up on me. Never ever gonna give up, never gonna give up on me. You never tire or sleep, you're always faithful to me. In everything you begin, you will complete it. You never tire or sleep, you're always faithful to me. In everything you begin, you will complete it. Oh, you're never gonna quit working on me. Oh, making me all that I can be. I'll keep on trusting in the one who never will give up on me. Never ever gonna give up, never gonna give up on me. I'll keep on trusting in the one who never will give up on me. Never ever gonna give up, never gonna give up on me. Yeah, yeah. You're never gonna quit working on me, making me all that I can be. Oh, you're never gonna quit working on me, working on me, working on me.
Bon appetit, everyone! My name is Graham. I'm dressed like this because I want to know what it feels like to be a real chef. I want to be able to bake a cake that's as tall as me. I want to make chocolate chip cookies that are so gooey the chocolate stretches a full 6 feet. I want to understand what fondant is. Fondant? Fondant? I want to be able to say the word fondant. But like most things in life, becoming a real chef takes time. It takes patience. Patience is waiting until later for what you want now. And I know a thing or two about patience. I signed up for a baking class 6 weeks ago that wasn't supposed to start until today, so I have to wait. And today I found out that the class has been postponed for another 2 weeks because our teacher is sick. It looks like she's going to be okay, but still, I have to wait some more. So now I'm wondering, what if I never get to go to class? What if it gets postponed again and again and again? What if it stays this way forever? The longer I have to wait, the harder it gets. If only there was some way to make the waiting not feel so hard. Maybe there is a way. In today's story, we'll learn about a guy named Simeon who had to wait a long time for God to keep his promise. But Simeon didn't have to wait alone. So, I guess I'll see you soon. I'll just wait here. Oh man, I could really go for one of those gooey chocolate chip cookies right about now. Chocolate.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Luke, chapter 2, verses 25 through 35.
The birth of Jesus was unusual in many ways. He entered the world in a shelter with the animals and was celebrated by an entire host of angels.
Glory to God in the highest.
But Mary and Joseph cared for Jesus as with any child. When he was about 6 weeks old, they prepared to present him to the Lord at the temple.
The law says we must offer a sacrifice of 2 pigeons.
Or doves. How is he 6 weeks old already?
But as Mary and Joseph set out for Jerusalem with their firstborn son, someone was already waiting for them. A man named Simeon, and their stories were about to collide. Simeon had grown up in Jerusalem, faithfully worshiping God. He prayed daily.
Lord, help me understand your law. Help me serve you with my whole life.
Simeon would have studied the scriptures, words from the prophets from hundreds of years before.
The people who are now living in darkness will see a great light. They are now living in a very dark land, but a light will shine on them. What light, Lord?
Over the years, Simeon continued to pray, to worship, and to seek God in the temple. God's Holy Spirit was with him. And one day, the Spirit made Simeon a promise.
You will not die before you see the Lord's Messiah.
Me? With my own eyes? Thank you, Lord.
Simeon believed the promise and waited in joyful expectation.
Will it be today, Lord?
Simeon waited some more.
Will it be this year, Lord?
And then he waited still more.
How about this decade?
We aren't quite sure how long Simeon had to wait, but when his hair turned snow white, he was still waiting.
Soon, Lord.
Today, at last, Simeon received a new response.
The temple courtyard? I'm on my way. Where's my cloak? My walking stick?
God's Spirit led Simeon straight up to the Temple Mount and into the courtyard. Simeon stood in the center of the courtyard, allowing the voices to wash around him. He wasn't quite sure what he was looking for, but he knew God would reveal it to him.
A baby?
Simeon turned quickly to see a young couple nearby. The man carried a pair of doves in a small cage, the usual sacrifice after a child was born. The woman cradled a tiny baby in her arms.
Joseph, where do we go?
Excuse me.
Both the man and the woman looked up quickly.
May I hold the child?
Well, all right, yes.
Simeon took the child gently into his arms. In the eyes of this infant, he saw the face of God, the rescuer, God's promised Messiah.
His name is Jesus.
Overwhelmed, Simeon turned his gaze toward heaven.
Lord, you are the king over all. Now let me, your servant, go in peace. That is what you promised. My eyes have seen your salvation. You have prepared it in the sight of all nations. It is a light to be given to the Gentiles. It will be the glory of your people, Israel.
Mary and Joseph stared in amazement.
We knew he was special.
This.
Simeon looked down at the child, then glanced up at Mary and Joseph again.
May the Lord bless you both.
Gently, Simeon returned Jesus to his mother's arms. After a lifetime of waiting, Simeon was overjoyed to see the fulfillment of the promise God had given him so long ago.
We don't know for sure how long Simeon had to wait before he got to see Jesus, but it's possible he had to wait for years. We usually don't have to wait years for something to happen, but sometimes when we're waiting, it can feel like years. Sometimes it can feel like forever. Like when you're waiting for your birthday or Christmas, or when you're waiting to feel better while you're sick. I know it's hard to wait, but here's the good news. You don't have to wait alone. God is with you. He knows what you're going through. He knows what the whole world is going through. And He knows how it will all turn out. So talk to God. Put your trust in Him. He's going to be with you through everything. In fact, God will be with you forever. So, that's the one thing to remember today. When you have to wait, remember God is with you. I still have to wait for my first baking class. Maybe it'll happen in 2 weeks, maybe longer. But no matter what, I won't be waiting alone. God will be with me. I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll have some gooey chocolate chip cookies for us to try by then. I wonder if the goo will stretch from me to you. I can't wait to find out. See you then.
Hey kids! Since our theme this week is Bake Off, it's worth the wait, I thought it would be fun to make something that maybe you would bake later on. So we're gonna make our own pizzas. Can't really eat these, but maybe it'll inspire you to get cooking in the kitchen with your mom or dad, and you guys can make your own pizza later. So you will need a paper plate, some brown paper. So I just found this like bulletin board paper sitting around. You could use butcher paper if you have it, or just brown construction paper. That's gonna be the dough. So we're gonna line our paper plate with the dough. And then you will need a red marker for the sauce. And I'm gonna use shredded paper for my mozzarella cheese. You could just cut up some white paper, however you want to make your mozzarella cheese, and then whatever toppings you want. So I have these puff balls for my black olives. I found some foam. I'm going to cut circles out for my pepperoni, some green foam for my green peppers, yellow paper for, I like banana peppers on my pizza. These are going to be my onions, and then I'm going to use this cool paper I found with a hole punch, and put some hot pepper flakes, red pepper flakes on the top. So I think you're gonna need tape, and I brought both types of glue just in case, and definitely some scissors. All right, you guys ready to get started? So think about what kind of toppings you like on your pizza, or even if you don't like them, it's just fun to add different toppings. All right, so first you are going to kind of cut out larger than your plate. That way you can fold the paper underneath your plate. And then tape it on. I think it's gonna be the easiest way to do it. I'm just like cutting a big circle around my plate. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect. You could save that paper and use it for some of your toppings, maybe mushrooms or meatballs. My son and husband love meatball pizza. So you could do some brown meatballs for that. Maybe even like crunch it up into balls. So I'm just gonna like fold it around my plate. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your dough is definitely never perfect, at least mine isn't when I make a pizza. So tape that around. So you have nice dough all the way around, and your plate gives it kind of a circle. A mozzarella pizza. If you're here for our get up and move last week. All right, so once you have your brown dough, we need to add some sauce. So take your red marker and just go crazy. Sauce is not perfect, it's okay. If you can see the brown shining through, A permanent marker might have been better for this, but we're just gonna go for it. So all around your pizza. You're gonna cover most of this up, so just that red tint will look pretty cool around your pizza. Not sure you guys can even see it, but it's there. Next, I'm gonna take my mozzarella cheese and I'm actually gonna make it a little bit smaller pieces. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and just cut some smaller pieces. That way you can sprinkle it on just like real cheese. I have a lot of vacuuming to do after this week. That's okay. All right, so I'm gonna take my glue stick for this one and put it everywhere I want the cheese. All over. All right, then I'm just gonna take my cheese and sprinkle it like I would mozzarella cheese. If you have any bigger pieces, you can cut those while you're doing it. And this is just shredded paper I found in our shredder. Make sure your parents are okay with you using the shredded paper before you do it. Or you can just cut up little pieces of white paper, whatever you want to do. Or yellow, I mean, cheese is yellow. Not green. Green cheese is usually not good. Blue cheese, I like blue cheese. You could do a white and yellow mix. Have like mozzarella and Parmesan. A lot of people like to put Parmesan cheese on their pizza. I'm just gonna kind of press it into the glue because some of these pieces, you might need to dump it, the ones that aren't gonna stay. Some pieces are overlapping and they're not gonna stay on very well. I definitely want them stuck down before I start putting my toppings on. All right, so there's my mozzarella cheese for my mozzarella pizza. All right, if you wanted to do a white pizza with not any red sauce, that's fine too. So now I'm gonna work on my toppings. So I like pepperoni on my pizza. So I'm gonna take, these were just like foam bookmarks I found. You could use those little round stickers that people use for yard sales if you guys have it. Again, just some construction paper, whatever you have around your house. This is like a open project. There's no wrong answer. So I'm gonna cut some circles, and pepperonis are not all the same size. They're not all perfectly round. So however they turn out, it's gonna be great. Okay, maybe one more set. All right, and this one I'm gonna use the regular glue floor. I think it would be good to have both on hand for this project. Ugh, this glue does not want to come out. And this will probably help hold your, I need to open it more, hold your cheese on, but there we go. Just didn't have it open all the way. Just doing like a little circle around each pepperoni, so I can glue it on and distribute those in a circular pattern around my pizza, just like they would at Pizza Hut. Found another one hiding. Any extra glue is probably going to be good just to hold other things on. So it's okay if it leaks out a little bit because we're going to add some more stuff on top. So there's my pepperonis. Now I'm going to do some green peppers. And for those, I'm just going to do strips. So I think your pizza is going to look super cool with different shapes, sizes, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to use my regular glue for this and just kind of stick them on wherever. So there's my green peppers. I don't even really like green peppers, but I thought the green would look cool on my pizza. All right, so next I'm gonna add some onions. Onions are like circular shapes, so I thought rubber bands would be cool for this. And I'm not exactly sure how to hold these on, so I'm just gonna do some circles with my glue and see if that works. It's all just kind of dry together, so just try the best you can to get everything to stay. Might have to hold them down a little bit. I don't know if rubber is the best thing to glue on. All right, I'm gonna use this scrap paper to push down my rubber bands, that way I don't get glue all over my hands. And hold it for a few seconds. Not too long, because you don't want your paper to get stuck. It's a balancing act. Oh no! One came up with it. That's okay. I'm just gonna stick him back down. Mr. Rubber Band. I have to push down the flat sides. All right, we're gonna let those dry. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna do some banana peppers. So those are kind of, I don't know, some squiggles. Sometimes they're rings. I'm just gonna do little half circles kind of things for mine, because rings are kind of hard to make. Do whatever fits your best, your skill set.
You're wonderful.
Alright, so I like banana peppers, but you guys might not. You could do something else yellow if you want to. Alright, for these I'm going to use my glue stick again since they're pretty flat. And just overlap. I think the more you put on, the more you overlap, the cooler your pizza is going to look at the end. So even if it's not your personal tastes, I think it's going to look super, super cool the more you have on there. And maybe you can use these to hold down some of your rubber bands if your rubber bands are having trouble staying on. All right, so I got my banana peppers in place. Last thing I'm gonna add is just some of this red sparkly paper. If you don't have anything fancy like this, red paper is fine, or any other color. And I'm just gonna punch out some holes. And we're going to use those holes for the hot pepper flakes. You know that like jar of spices you have on the table. If you wanted to do Parmesan instead, you could just punch holes in white paper or yellow paper. Yeah. So just, I got one stuck. Make sure you get all the holes out. Oh, he's just going to live in there. All right, and then let's see. I think I have enough glue that I could just put these down. Mine aren't red on both sides, but you know what? The red pepper flakes, sometimes you have, you know, the red and sometimes it's more of like a yellow color, so I think it would work just to sprinkle these on. If yours are red on both sides, definitely go for it. But just gonna kind of sprinkle them everywhere and see if they hit some glue. If you want to, like, kind of guide them a little bit to the glue, that's fine too. But I don't think I need to add any extra because I might have got a little overboard with the glue. Yeah. So it might take a little bit of time to put some of these things on your pizza. You might have to be patient to waiting now for what you want later. Waiting until later for what you want now. That's probably the way you say it. Yeah, that's cool. If they're not sticking, kind of smush them around, see if they'll hit some glue. But there is my pizza. Have fun making your own. We would love to see some pictures in our comment section of the awesome pizzas you've made, and I'll try to get some pictures of the ones we make in church too. All right, have a good week.